Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Tanner and this is my Esoterica. Today I'm here with another reading, a zodiac reading for our Cancers. And what I've been seeing so far in the shuffles, Cancer, is that you guys have been dealing with some sort of ending, but like a completion. Like I saw the world. So it's like the end of a cycle here, like a graduation of sorts. So I feel like you've learned some really important lesson here when it comes in some sort of love connection. I also saw the Three of Pentacles and the Sun. So the Sun is often about happiness and like pursuing your own happiness, but it's also about clarity and like things coming to light, things being revealed. And then I also saw the Three of Pentacles, which could lend itself to, like, what I'm seeing is like you guys had some sort of revelation, or like what I think I'm seeing is that there was some sort of third party situation here. 111 on the timer as I said that. Um that you guys found some clarity about, or you guys like discovered, right? We have the Three of Spires here in the cut that I stopped at before I started recording. So this is the Three of Swords. So this is emotional pain. This is heartbreak. So I feel like you guys have learned some sort of lesson here through a heartbreak, right? And then we have on the other side of the cut, at the heart of this situation, the Five of Stones, which in this deck is the Five of Pentacles. This is the Mindscapes Tarot, by the way. But the Five of Stones is the Five of Pentacles, which is feelings of abandonment or feeling left out in the cold in some way. So I feel like there was some sort of love situation here, Cancer, where again, there was a completion. You may have found out about some sort of third party situation, but it definitely, activated wounding in you in some way. Clearly, this is a love reading. I seem to be, a conduit for these types of readings. So let's see what else comes out. Thank you, Spirit. What else do we have at the heart of this situation for our Cancers? Page of Branches, which is the Page of Wands. I feel like there is a sense of like inspiration of wanting to like take a leap of faith towards something here. Like there's a sense of like exhilaration. Let's see what else we have here. And the Six of Branches. This is the Six of Wands. So this is about like victory and feeling seen. What's underneath that? The Empress. So, like, honestly, I feel like you guys are in the Star. Yeah, so you guys have been focusing a lot on healing from the situation. Stepping into, like, your Empress energy, like, your divine feminine energy. So you could resonate with being a divine feminine. Again, not, like, sex-based, but energetic dynamics. So you could resonate with being a divine feminine. But it's like there's a sense of inspiration of like healing and focusing on like your long-term foundations here after this situation. On the other side, again, we have the Three of Spires. So yeah, Three of Swords energy. So like, I don't know, you might be putting yourself back out there is what I'm seeing. And then as I went to pick up the second half of the deck to shuffle again, the High Priestess was here looking at me still. So this is, again, divine feminine energy. We have the Empress and the High Priestess. So that's like 3D feminine power and like connecting to the 5D in a way, like intuition and like holding your power and like keeping yourself composed, right? Let's do one more cut and then I'll start pulling cards for you. So thanks, Spirit. What else do we have here for our Cancer Collective? The Six of Branches again. So there's some sort of 440 on the timer. There's some sort of victory here. 444 as I said that, but like yeah, there's this sense of you stepping into your power, Cancer, like as a result of this heartbreak as a result of this lesson that you've learned. It could have also led to an awakening in some way with the High Priestess, like, again, connecting to a higher power, you know, your guides or angels or however that resonates for you. Actually, I feel called to do one more cut, and then I'll pull some cards. Whoops. Gotta listen to my intuition with these things. All right, Spirit, one more cut for our Cancer Collective, and then let's pull some cards for them. Oh, Lord. Okay. Sorry, I got my cards flipped around a little bit. We have the Ace of Tides here on this cut, which is the Ace of Cups. So this is like an opportunity for a new emotional beginning. Either for yourself, like focusing on like healing yourself, which is what I'm leaning towards. Yeah, with the Nine of Stones and Nine of Pentacles underneath it, this is like focusing on your own stability. This is focusing on your, like, getting your bag. This is standing in your power again. This is like pre-Empress energy, the Nine of Pentacles. You can see the city here is like built up and flourishing and gorgeous. So yeah, focusing on self-healing after learning a lesson from a painful situation. Again, I feel like you might be putting yourself back out there to try to be seen by others with the Six of Branches here, the Six of Wands. But yeah, so that's what we're seeing so far. If the situation's resonating, then this reading is probably for you so far, or probably for you, period, not even so far. Let's go ahead and pull some cards. The bottom is the Ace of Cups. So again, a new emotional beginning, a chance to, like, an opportunity to develop something, a new emotional beginning. So it's like there's potential for growth and healing, but you have to be the one to take advantage of that opportunity. Like, you still have to actively pursue the healing, if that makes sense. But thanks, Spirit. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for our Cancer Collective. What do we have for the situation that they are? My goodness gracious. Half the cards got flipped upside down, but whenever that happens, it's for a reason. So I trust Spirit. But let's see what comes out for our Cancers, please, Spirit. What do we have for our Cancer Collective? What's going on for our Cancers? For our Cancer Collective, please, Spirit. First card came out in reverse. Four of Branches in reverse. Four of Wands in reverse. So there was a situation here, I'm thinking a love situation, again, that you realize that, like, you could have seen marriage potential with this person with the Four of Wands here, but with it popping out in reverse, there was like no stability here. Like, there was no like firm foundation is what I'm getting. So yeah, you saw marriage potential with this person that you were connected to, but yeah, something about the situation was not stable. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune here, which is like a turning point. So there could have been like a kind of abrupt turning point in the situation where you realized that the situation actually wasn't stable for you long term. But it could have been something that, again, caught you by surprise with the Wheel of Fortune. All right, Spirit, what else do we have for our Cancer Collective? That card jumped out of my hand. Oops. Could have been dealing with a runner. And this card came out crossing. So for me as a reader, this is energy that you are consciously grappling with right now. So this is the Nine of Branches. This is the Nine of Wands. The Wounded Warrior card. So this came out crossing, right? So it seems to me like you guys are actively dealing with healing from this wounding. Like, you're feeling battered and beaten by this situation, but you're also feeling inspired to keep going. Like, you don't want to give up. The Nine of Wands is, you know, a lot about wounding, but it is also about perseverance. So I feel like you're, doing the hard work of healing from the situation, but it definitely caused some emotional pain. So let's see, let's get one more. Thank you, Spirit. What else do we have for our Cancer Collective for this message? Jumped out of my hand again. Landed in reverse, just so you guys are aware. The Queen of Branches in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse. So yeah, I feel like the situation really kind of zapped your confidence. So you could be feeling really like just really down right now and really kind of critical of yourself. The Queen of Wands in her power is somebody who is glowing. She's radiant. She doesn't care what people think about her. She's confident in herself and what she brings to the table. In the reverse, there's the blockage of this energy. So yeah, feeling stagnated, feeling judged, feeling like too worried about other people's opinions. So yeah, I feel like this situation really zapped your confidence, especially if there was a third party situation here. That's enough to really punch anybody in the confidence, I think. But okay, let's go ahead and get some clarifiers for these. So let's start, yeah, there's like, okay. So on the bottom, clarifying this Queen of Branches in reverse, we had the Ace of Spires in reverse, which is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So a lot of confusion. Upright, the Ace of Swords is about clarity and understanding and like having an aha moment. But here, it's showing up in reverse. So this is like cloudy thoughts, like things not being clear to you, confused about why things happen the way they did. So that's what I'm seeing. But let's go ahead and clarify this Four of Branches in reverse, please, Spirit. Please clarify this Four of Branches, this Four of Wands in reverse. Page of Stones in reverse. A lot of reversals coming out here. So this is 1222. So this energy, like the Page of Stones, which is the Page of Pentacles. Sorry, it took me a minute to translate it in my head. But this is the energy of like wanting to invest in something, like feeling inspired, right? And like putting the work into trying to build something stable with it. Popped up in reverse, clarifying this Four of Wands in reverse. So this is energy of somebody not investing in this, somebody not doing the work to make the situation stable. It's like a wasted opportunity almost. So yeah, again, I feel like you saw a lot of potential with this person. You wanted to invest more fully in it. 1313 as I was saying that. But yeah, something happened here that again made you realize how unstable the situation really was and how, somebody wasn't putting the work in to actually invest in the situation for real. So let's get one more for this first row. Please clarify this Four of Wands and this Page of Pentacles Spirit. Strength. It popped out in a weird way too. But strength, and it popped out crossing. And the Page of Tides came out with it. So the Page of Wands. No, Page of Cups. So 2 pages here. I feel like you could have been dealing with somebody who was younger than you, or maybe in some other ways just a little bit more immature. I feel like you may feel like this person owes you an apology in some way or another. But the situation, has really forced you guys to go within and rely on your inner strength and inner resilience to kind of push you through this situation. I feel like you guys also with this Page of Tides are trying to, again, focus on your healing because cups are all about healing. Pages, again, are sort of like student energy. If aces are the potential of a situation, then the pages are the stewards of that potential. So they are holding it. They're excited about the potential, but they still have some work to do before they're ready to like actually act on it, right? So I feel like, you're going within and you're starting to do the hard work of clearing out the pain with this 9 of branches, wands here. And, you know, get yourself back to, you know, feeling confident in yourself again. So yeah, that's what we have for that first row. What is this 9 of branches about, Spirit? What is this 9 of wands crossing energy about? The King of branches in reverse, the King of wands in reverse. So, and we have the King and Queen of wands here. So this definitely could have been some sort of divine connection, soul contract in some way, Cancer. You could have felt like, again, that this person was your happily ever after, or like you saw potential for a long-term commitment with them. But this is, again, the king and his shadow side. Somebody, if the King of wands upright is somebody who is confident and powerful and, you know, charismatic and, you know, radiant in that way, then in reverse, the King of wands is somebody who is caught up in their ego, who is controlling for the sake of power. And in the reverse, this is also somebody who could be a player, or somebody who, you know, has a wandering eye in some way. You could have been dealing with a fire sign, or you two could have been the same element in some way. It didn't have to be fire. But yeah, there was a masculine energy here. Again, dynamics, not gender. But this is somebody who was abusing their power in some way. I feel like third party situation is what I'm kind of strongly getting. But only take that if it resonates. I know not everybody, and again, third party doesn't necessarily have to be another relationship. It can be outside opinions, like the opinions of somebody's friends and their family. It could be like somebody focusing on work and using that as an excuse to avoid investing into the situation. It could be anything like that. So it doesn't necessarily, again, have to be another romantic situation, but it could be. And I think, you know, you will know if that situation applies for you in particular. But yeah, somebody here caused wounding by, you know, letting their ego get in the way, and by, again, abusing their power in some way. Let's get one more clarifier, please, for this middle row for our Cancer spirit. The 9 of Tides. So 2 9s here. One, I feel like you really saw this person as your wish fulfillment with the 9 of Tides here, which is the 9 of Cups in this deck. 9s are very reminiscent of Hermit energy as well. So I feel like there's been a lot of reflection happening within you, Cancer. And I think, you know, you're feeling inspired, like this ship is sailing, right? I feel like your ship is sailing away from this person and towards your own happiness and your own fulfillment here. And the star makes me think of the star, which, I mean, it's the sun, which is about clarity. And remember, I saw the sun in the beginning of this reading. But there's clarity and there's also healing, because I was thinking of the star too. And the ship is moving towards that clarity and moving towards that healing. So I feel like that is what you're doing. Like, you are doing the work to move towards your own wish fulfillment, and like doing what you can to go within and heal. Yeah, because again, I feel like your confidence is shot and you're feeling that. So I feel like, you know, I know earlier I said that you guys might be putting yourselves out there, and some of you might be already, but some of you might just be feeling inspired to put yourself back out there. It's okay if you still need some time to heal, and I want you to take that time if you need it. Because if you're putting yourself back out there, you should be in your most abundant, magnetic, confident, like you should be in your Queen of Wands upright energy, not in the reverse. So definitely take the time to heal from this, Cancer. Like, the world isn't going anywhere. I know it might seem like it could be sometimes with the way things are right now, but your healing is the most important thing that you can undertake right now, especially with the way the world is right now. But thanks, Spirit. Let's go ahead and clarify this last row for our Cancer collective. What is this Queen of Branches in reverse about? The great work. Interesting. So this is about, like, this card is exclusive to this deck. There's one other exclusive card, the Catacombs. But the great work is like following your life's path in a way, like the great work of your life in a lot of ways. I want to read from the book to see exactly what the great work is all about. However, I do not know where I hid the book from myself. Oh, there it is. 1 second. So the great work in this deck is number 23. So it comes after the world, which again, I saw in the beginning. So it's like the step beyond the learning of the cycle, or the completion of the cycle. Oh. So the great work, purpose, destiny, interconnectedness, cosmic play, macrocosm and microcosm. And this is representative of the North Node for all of my astrology girlies. So what you're meant to do in this life, what you're meant to go towards and achieve and grow into. So take a look at the card, and it says, in the shadow of a mountain range glows a small town, its lights mimicking the cosmic dance in the sky above. You are part of that dance, a single thread in a tapestry that no one can see. But your role is of the utmost importance. The awe-inspiring firmament could not exist without the joyful twinkling of each individual star and the harmony of its constellations. The great work is the construction of the universe, but also our communities and relationships. Take a moment to unplug and appreciate the beautiful chaos all around you. Things will never be exactly this way again. You will never be this way again. But you are part of the great work, and you, ever growing together in beauty and grace. So again, I feel like it's giving soul contract, this reading, and I tend to channel soul contracts, so it is what it is. But like, I feel like this was meant to trigger you in order to push you into your highest power with that Empress energy that we were seeing before, with that Six of Wands, which is all about, again, victory and feeling seen and validated. And that Page of Wands energy we saw is like being drawn to taking a leap towards something, feeling inspired to jump, feeling exhilarated. So I feel like, you know, again, this situation was meant to trigger you so you could go within and really face your own inner traumas and do the work to clear them so you can, again, step into your highest, like, timeline, highest potential. So thanks, Spirit. Can we clarify this last row one more time with one more card? What do we have for our Cancer collective? The Knight of Branches. A lot of Wands energy here. So I feel like there was a lot of attraction between you and this person. Again, but maybe they just weren't showing up super stable, or, again, non-committal, kind of a runner, especially with this Knight of Wands energy. But this is taking action. This is feeling inspired to take action, like doing the work to move forward. And then the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, the Knight of Wands is, I mean, all the wands suit the characters. The court cards are sitting in a desert. And what that's meant to represent is that even though it seems like they don't have anything around them to, like, utilize, all they need is their inspiration to drive them, and they can kind of overcome any obstacle. So I feel like that's your message with this card. Like, you have the power to overcome this obstacle and step into your higher power and step into your divine feminine, your magnetic energy. but like it's the great work of your life to clear this energy. Like you could be holding on to like or carrying over karmic lessons from your family line even. So think about like if you've seen um, anybody in your life when you were growing up go through these things, like your mother or father or whoever your caregiver was. If they struggled in love, you may have inherited those unconsciously. So, what is this saying? Like, you're feeling inspired to take action towards doing the great work of healing this trauma from the situation. Definitely been wounding. You've definitely had to go within. I can see that it's been painful. But again, this is the great work of your life. This may be your part of your soul mission, to clear out this karmic baggage from your lineage. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing, Cancers. You guys, again, could have been dealing with a third party situation, but there definitely was a love situation that just wasn't as stable as I think you guys were hoping. And it has caused you to have to go through a bunch of healing. It's dimmed your light in some ways to have to go through this. But I feel like you're starting to get it back slowly but surely. I think you just still have to do a little more clearing work in order to actually get to the finish line of this. But can we get a piece of advice, please, Spirit, for our Cancer Collective? What is the advice that you have for the situation for them? Advice for our Cancer Collective. 2 of branches, 2 of wands, more wands, a lot of passion, a lot of inspiration. So I feel like you guys are feeling really inspired right now, regardless of like the situation itself. Like the negativity has inspired you guys to like take action towards moving forward, which is a power move in and of itself. Some people get stuck in the spiral of the pain, but it seems like you guys are actually taking action on doing the work to heal, which is, it's commendable. I commend you, because that is the hardest thing to deal with in these situations, because it's never really about the other person. The other person is just a catalyst. They come in, they activate your wounding, and then, you know, it's up to you to do the work to clear it for yourself, because that pain is a reflection of wounding within somewhere. It could be from your childhood or something else, but that tends to be how these soul contract dynamics go. But your piece of advice for the situation is don't be afraid to leave your comfort zone. So the world out there can be scary, right? And in the traditional Rider-Waite card, there's a person, they're holding the world in their hand, they have their 2 wands, they're standing on like the precipice of a castle, and they're looking out into the world beyond. That's indicative of somebody planning to leave their comfort zone in order to, you know, become more well-rounded and, you know, become a citizen of the world in some way. So your advice is don't stay stuck in one place, right? Don't be afraid to take a step outside of your comfort zone. That might involve really digging up some traumas that maybe you weren't even consciously aware that you were still carrying. But just don't stay stuck where you're comfortable. And sometimes pain is more comfortable than actually doing the hard work of healing. So your advice is to not be afraid to leave your comfort zone. Don't stay where it's comfortable. Don't stay where, you know, you're being limited. It's going to take work to expand past that comfort zone. But once you do, you'll see just how much beauty there is outside of those walls, right? So that's your advice. Don't stay stuck in one place. Put one foot in front of the other is what I'm hearing. So that's your advice. What is coming next in the situation, Spirit, for our Cancer Collective? What is coming next for our Cancers? I don't know if that wants to come out or not. Not quite. So we'll leave it in there. What is coming next for our Cancer spirit? What is coming next for our Cancer collective? What is coming next, Spirit, for our Cancer collective? Very specific card wants to come out for you guys. What is coming next for our Cancer collective, Spirit? What is coming next? What is coming next, Spirit, for our Cancer collective? Gee, I'm telling you, very specific card. Spirit, what is coming next for our Cancer collective, please? Thank you. The Hermit. So what's coming next? 3131, I just saw it. And I talked about the Hermit not too long ago with that 9 energy. The 9 of branches and the 9 of cups. But the Hermit crossing. What's coming next? You guys are going to be pulling your energy back. You guys are actually going to be doing the work of going within and contemplating and, you know, dissecting what happened and learning from it. So you might feel a little isolated for a while. You might feel lonely. That's normal. Just remember that this is all happening for the sake of your growth, right? Again, this energy came out crossing, so this will be what you're consciously dealing with and grappling with. So what's coming next is you going within and doing that hard reflection work. 32 on the timer just then. So yeah, that's what's coming next. Like, I feel like the situation might be a little fresh for you guys. And so you guys still have to kind of do the hard work of digging up that trauma and finding the root of it. And sometimes that is the hardest part. So I don't know if y'all have a therapist. When I was going through my soul contract situation, 33 on the timer, 33 minutes even, I had to go back to therapy. I journaled, I cried and cried and cried. My goodness, it was terrible. So I empathize, I sympathize, I understand how painful the situation probably is if it's like what I'm thinking it's like. But yeah, again, don't be afraid to go within, to step outside of that comfort zone and look within yourself so you can actually pull that trauma out by the root and become a stronger, fuller, more complete version of yourself with that world energy. All right, I feel like that's a good place to leave it. So thank you all for being here. I hope this reading helped you, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, take care. Bye.